Should abortion be punished?
Well, people in certain parts of the Republican Party and conservative Republicans would say yes, they should be punished.
How about you?
I would say that it's a very serious problem, and it's a problem that we have to decide on. It's very hard.
But you're for banning it.
Are you going to say, well, wait, are you going to say put them in jail? Is that
well,
the
no, what I'm
punishment
asking
that you're
you,
talking about?
because you say you want to ban it. What's that mean?
I am pro-life, yes.
So this is a big question that Republicans have been flip-flopping on in the wake of all these different abortion bans happening across the United States. What exactly is the crime? What exactly is the punishment? Is the woman punished? Is the doctor punished? Is it both? Well, South Carolina has decided that they think they have an answer for that question. So 6 old white men, MAGA Republicans from South Carolina, have introduced a bill that would execute women who seek an abortion. The death penalty for seeking access to healthcare. And let's not leave it at 6 anonymous men. Let's name them and provide access to their public telephone lines in case you want to voice your concerns about this. We've got Rob Harris, Josiah Magnuson, William Chumley, James Burns, Stephen Long, and Jay Kilmartin. Those are the 6 men that want to be responsible for all of the women in South Carolina. If you're a woman in South Carolina, those are the 6 men that are deciding whether or not to kill you for seeking access to healthcare that should just be available to you. Once again, the party of small government, proving that they're not really the party of small government. They're the party of large government interference as long as it's something that they want. Also take note about how the headline that I just showed you, let me show it to you again. It says reintroduce, because they already tried to introduce this bill once in 2023.
Last month, House Republicans passed their own abortion bill, a ban from conception. While that bill did not add any new criminal charges for those who get abortions, they also voted down an amendment to repeal the criminalization already in the law. The House is where the new bill, the one that could impose the death penalty, is filed. In a statement, Republican Speaker of the House Merle Smith says the House has no intentions of taking this bill up. When the House passed pro-life legislation earlier this year, we made it very clear we were not in the business of criminalizing women.
So in spite of that L that they took back in 2023, because it's insane to seek the death penalty for women seeking an abortion, here we are again, trying it. I mean, you just got to keep trying it. It's kind of like the trope where a man asks a woman out repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually he wears her down and she says yes. It's kind of like that. If you just keep reintroducing this death penalty bill, eventually we'll get it passed, and then we can just start killing women. Isn't that great? With the threat of death looming over their heads, we can really control women even more these days. And if you look at the wording of this bill, it ensures that fetuses have the exact same rights as people who are born, and therefore seeking to end its life could be classified as first-degree murder. They're calling it the Prenatal Equal Protection Act. And once again, here are the names of the men sponsoring that bill. All men who can impregnate others but just can't get pregnant themselves, which I think is just so ironic. My first thought is that this can only be contagious, and boy, isn't it.
My God, look at this headline. Texas GOP proposed potential death penalty for women who get abortions. These MAGA Republicans are apparently so pro-life that they will literally kill you to prove it. And look, if they're proposing controlling women this openly in an election year, a few months before they're going to face the voters who overwhelmingly oppose abortion restrictions, by the way, then just imagine what they'll do if they win and they've got nothing but a clear runway ahead of them.
I don't want to imagine, but that is the reality that we are facing. This TikTok was very clearly taken before the election, before we knew that Trump and Project 2025 were going to be a sure thing. And I wish I could go back to that moment where I had hope that it wasn't going to be my reality. These bills, when they were proposed in 2023, we were in a very different society back when they were shot down. It's only been a year and a half-ish since those bills were shot down. They're being reintroduced, and we live in a very different society, and we have a very different administration coming into the White House now. I mean, take a look at who Trump wants to put in as chief of staff at the Office of Management and Budget.
I certainly think that you're going to find a lot of people that step away from jail time because they're going to say, well, this is, some. But if you believe it's a baby, I do, then you have to do something to protect the baby. The late Phyllis Schlafly, whom I worked so closely with, used to say, if you get to claim and frame the argument, you almost certainly get to win. In other words, if you take their framing, it's a woman's right. Are you going to put women in jail? No, it's about a baby. Now what do? Frame the argument, own the argument. One of the most common exceptions called for is an exception to abortion laws in cases where the mother's life is at risk. I'm entirely opposed to this language. It's an absolute scientific fact that no abortion is ever performed to save the life of the mother. None. Zero. Zilch.
It's a scientific fact that no abortion ever, zero zilch, is performed to save the life of the mother. I guess we can just say whatever we want now. Doesn't have to be true. You can just say it. Who's gonna stop you? Huh? No one, apparently. I feel like this is like Lord Farquaad in Shrek when he's like, some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Like, sure, some women may die in our effort to prevent women from getting abortions, even when it's not medically necessary, but screw those women. Sorry, you just have to die. This is very pro-life of me to just let you die from medical complications. We are reaching a point, we have already reached a point where fetuses, unborn fetuses, have more rights than the fully formed human carrying that fetus to term. That fetus has more rights than the actual fully formed human life. And they don't care about that life because once it's born, who cares? Who cares? No childcare, no school lunches, no nothing. Screw that kid. We don't give handouts. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, baby. Once that baby is born, if the mother needs assistance, if the baby needs assistance, well, I mean, you're the one who decided to get pregnant. You're the one who decided to have that child. Maybe you should have been more careful. This is the future we are now facing for the next 4 years, and hopefully just 4 years, although I'm trying not to be fatalist about it, but the risk is high for a longer than 4 years problem. We are facing a future that is not pro-life, it's anti-woman, and it is we need more low-wage workers so that we can maintain ourselves being rich and we can keep people crushed down at the bottom, and we need people to work at McDonald's. It's not pro-life, it's pro-capitalism. It's pro-oligarchy. It's pro-control. And it seems incredibly daunting to try and fight back for the next 4 years. But just remember, that is how they want you to feel. They want you to feel exhausted and hopeless and isolated. And people keep asking me what they can do, because it seems like all you can do right now is the only thing available to you is to donate to different causes. And let's be honest, most of us don't have the money to be donating to different causes right now. The most important thing you can do that is not donating money is community. Pro-community is anti this mess. Pro-community. So talking to people who are the same and different from you, starting community gardens, sharing skills, trading skills with one another. Not, I pay you to do this, but I'll do this if you do that. Pro-community, taking care of each other, not feeling so isolated. That is the most important step that you can take right now. That is anti-capitalism. That is anti-oligarchy. And that is, we are stronger together than we are apart. And they want to keep us apart because it seems exhausting and scary and isolating. And that's what they want. Pro-community, go into your community and take care of each other and take care of people that are different from you, because they've been hoodwinked by these people too. Take care of each other. That is the best move we can all make right now.